Kirby touch control not working properly, then this is a video for you. But don't forget everything you use in the video today. There are links in the description below for the best place to get those Kirby parts and accessories. So make sure you check those out at the end of this video. Hi Kirby fans, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be looking at a bit of an issue people are having with the touch control. There are a few fixes for it which I'm going to share. So again, make sure you stick around to the end of the video because there will be some awesome tips at the end as well. So let's jump into the video. Now, no matter whether you've got a vintage Kirby or you've got the Generation series up to the Avalir 2, they all come with a touch control. Obviously the touch control is for adjusting the height of the head to that carpet depth, and there's a few reasons that this gets damaged over time and starts causing you issues. Now what a lot of people have is obviously lowering the touch control, it suddenly jumps down. I'll show you one of the reasons that causes this and then we'll dive in, take one apart, and I'll show you another reason that this may be caused. Right, so the pre-generation Kirbys we had numbers, and Kirby did change this over time, but this touch control may look a little bit outdated, but it's the same system as we go on. Now as we look at the Generation 3, obviously Kirby did away with the number system and we had lines, still the same distance that it drops down at the end of the day, and all you have to do normally is when the Kirby is running, you adjust this down to that certain height of the specific carpet. Now the issue I have, and what a lot of people do, and this is obviously one, going to damage your belts, and two, going to damage your touch control, is that instead of lowering it incrementally, what they'll do is they'll get their foot and they'll go and just whack it all the way down. What that's going to do is that obviously that's going to put pressure on the spring that's in there, and also it's going to make it skim past all these settings really quick, and it does cause damage to the alloy just taking the tip off because you're not giving it a chance to actually lock into place. You're letting it, making it skip past, and you will have that happen consistently as you keep going. So we'll jump in now and have a look at the touch control, how it works, and I'll explain another issue that causes it to skip as well. Now for this repair, we're going to be using a vintage Kirby because this was asked about a vintage Kirby. I have had this issue with a G4 in the past and I did replace the component. I'll show you the kit that I got, and you can just change that part, but you can service it as well. The suggestion would be service it first. If it still does it, then order the replacement part, and there will be a link in the description below. Right, so the Kirby Legend 2, and you may notice it has got the same touch control as what was fitted on the Generation 3. There were some numbers there, but all Kirby did was change the line, so they did change the system a little bit, but it's the same pedal, same design as what you got on your vintage Kirbys right up to the Avalir. Now this hasn't been serviced since I picked it up, so we're going to take it apart and see what lies inside, and I'll show you what the other issue is and what causes it. For today's repair, you're going to want some isopropyl. You can use baby wipes as well. You're going to want a rag. If you've got an early Kirby pre-Generation 6, then you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. Generation 6 onwards, you're going to need a Torx 20. You're going to want some cotton swabs, or cotton buds as you call them. And if you have got that issue and you do want to replace the whole system, there is a full kit here that you can get, and I will put a link down below of where to get that from. Now when taking it apart, I advise you do it by hand, because if you've got an older Kirby, you're more than likely, if you're going to use an impact driver or a drill, you're going to round those screws off, and then you can be causing more hassle than you are help. So first up, you've got two screws. Now these are going to be Phillips in a vintage Kirby up until the G6, and then after the G6 they will be Torx 20s. Now before lifting this off, you're going to want to hold that adjustment in. So what I tend to do is just hold that with my finger, push up, and then have my thumb just behind the wheel. Next up, we're going to lift this slowly, and then we're going to slide that out whilst holding that touch control in situ. So as you pull it out, you can lift that off like so. And as we turn this over now, you will see I've got that held there. Release that slowly. Right, so you can see how this mechanism works, and it's just a pressure release. So what that does is as you push that down, it releases pressure, allowing the ratchet to move on there. What you'll find is if there's too much grease in here as well, if you've got dogs or dog's hairs will congeal in here or get over there, and obviously making it slip. This is quite worn as well, so with this I would replace it. They're not going to be perfectly sharp, but they are rounded off, and we've got a lot of gump in there. But I'll show you to clean it up first if you just want to reuse this and try it, but if not, I would recommend replacing this one anyway. And that will release. So take that out, Now what you want to do is clean all the grease out of here. Right, so with our toe touch control, you can see it's a little bit grimy in here. We have got a new one here. So you can see that one's new, it's nice and clean. And then we've got our spring, and this one comes with a new spring as well, which just slots in there. So we'll just get this cleaned and then see if that spring has been compressed. Right, so you can see we've got a little bit of hair in that spring as well. So that's a bit of human hair, not dog hair, but we've got hair mixed in with that spring. So make sure you get all that out. Right, so I've laid the springs next to each other. This is the new spring here, and you can see it's literally about 1 mil, maybe 2 mil longer than this one. What you can do with the older spring if you want, is you can just stretch it a little bit, like so. Whether that'll last, I'm not too sure. And it might bring it the same length what the new spring is, which is not far off. So you can reuse that, but what you want to do is re-grease this now. So I'll put this new one away to one side, and we'll try this old one first and see if it works after it's been re-greased. Now you want to give this all a good clean as well. There will be grease in there. There shouldn't be an excess of grease. There is loads of grease in here. So it has been greased and greased and greased over time, which if there's too much, it's going to get on these lugs here and cause it to slip, which is what we don't want. The purpose of the grease in here is purely so the back end, it can just rub and slide, but there shouldn't be any in these teeth. Now for those of you wanting to service your Generation Kirby or Avalir, check out this video next. And for those of you who want to service Classic 3 or Legend 2, check out this video next. So thanks for watching, happy cleaning, and I'll catch you in the next one.